Yes. I'm waiting to see if anyone's going to come in. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the YouTube streets tonight, but maybe people will join me. We will see. We will see. All right, we got the music playing. We got people in the house. Hi, Toad. Hi, Terry. Terry, you got to tell me about the pup. Tell me what happened. I never got an Instagram. All right, guys. So last night, after I got off the live with you guys, I worked on this for another 2.5 hours. So I do believe, I don't want to promise anything because I don't know if it'll happen, but I am going to try to finish this tonight. So I didn't separate all the little baggies out, but I separated the first few that we're going to be using. So I am hoping that that is going to happen. Now, if we get to chatting a lot, it may not happen, and that's okay too. And I may just have to finish it on my own. But I mean, y'all know I'm still going to share it when it's done. But I kind of want to start crochet project. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Suze wouldn't let the vet touch him, so they told us to come get him and sent some meds home. Okay, and are the meds working? Hi guys, if you're here, if you're lurking, that's fine. If you don't want to lurk and you want to come in, you can chat. Relaxed environment, friendly environment. We support and help each other out. I am going to try to finish this painting, diamond painting today. That's what I'm hoping to do. So, but we will chat along the way, try to keep up, see what's going on in everyone's life that wants to share. Of course, you do not have to share. Seem to be he's not throwing up, and oh, well, that's great. That's great. But that's weird that they sent him home with meds, even though he wouldn't let the vet touch him. So it just seems to me that the vet could have, based on what you told the vet, that the vet could have just given y'all something. Well, he was closed though, right? That's probably why. That makes sense. He was closed, so you couldn't come in and get meds. All right, so I'm going to start with these little up arrows, which are number 28. That's the first thing we're going to start with. And so I have all that section right there, and it goes over that way, but we're going to start right here. Guys, if you're coming in, if you're lurking, go ahead and please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps to get my content out there and hopefully get other people to stop by and maybe they're interested in this. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscription button. It would be very much appreciated. But we are going to go ahead and get this started. And so I just went ahead and put the beads on there. And I changed my setup a little, so I don't know from doing this right here. I'm thinking that it is too soft. I'm going to try another bead and see how that goes. If not, I may have, oh, I stuck my fingers. I may have to get a book to put under this. Well, that one went on fine, so we'll keep going and see. Maybe it was just me. So 4T is in the chat saying hello. This is pretty. Thank you very much. Do you do any crafting, 4T? Or do you just like to watch people do crafts? And y'all know it's like I don't want to be in a rush. I just want to take my time and I want to enjoy it as I go. But not that I'm going to rush it a lot, but I am going to do it with a purpose so that maybe I can get it finished tonight. So that's what we are looking at. It, you know, it called for snow. It did snow. It's sleet. You know, if you want to call it snow, it looks white out there, but it's basically all ice. Let's see, Tracy says, I'd like to do and get the craft art diamond. You should. You should. It's fun. It's easy. You know, if you can just put the beads on here and then basically do that and find the color and the symbols that you need to do, then you're good. So like on this channel, I also do crochet, and I do Addi knitting, which is knitting with the circular knitting machine. And we do this, and we do cross stitching. And you know, with those, it takes a little bit more patience and skill and stuff like that. And there's learning curves. But with this, it's pretty much it. This is my first one ever. And I started it like, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've only worked on it during the lives, except for last night I worked on it. After my live, I worked on it for 2.5 hours. But it's easy. It's very relaxing. And as you can see, they really are beautiful. But it can be deceiving sometimes because I really thought, like last night, I thought when I got off the live, the reason I worked on it for 2.5 hours was because I thought I was going to get to finish it maybe. And I worked and worked and worked, and I'm like, oh, I still got a long ways to go. And so I think I'm going to get it finished tonight during the live, but that may not be so. And I'm trying to get it finished because I know a lot of my viewers probably want to get back to crochet or Addi knitting or cross stitch. Even though I think once I finish this and I get a couple of other projects started, I do think that I am going to start another one of these. Ooh, Granny's here. Hi. I did, and well, you weren't with us last night, so I worked on it the whole live. Well, you know, in between the chat and stuff, because we were actually pretty chatty last night. And then after the chat, I worked on it for 2.5 hours. So I am trying to get it done. Hi, Jane. Welcome. Let's see, Tracy says, I do that because I like doing my craft activity on my wall. Yeah, so you can do this and then you can frame it and put it on your wall, right? And then it's your own art, you know? And probably a lot cheaper, especially if you get them on sale, probably a lot cheaper than it would be to buy good wall art. So Jane, after we got off the live last night, I worked on this for an additional 2.5 hours. And I got a lot done, but I'm hoping to get it done today. I don't know that it's going to happen, but you see me moving kind of quick because I kind of want to get this done so that we can start some crochet projects or finish some crochet projects. Because, you know, I talked about the blanket that I wanted to start on, doing the wheel, the random wheel. And I was organizing my shelves again today because I hadn't finished, you know, because of my energy level. But I am almost close or pretty close to being done with that. But in the process of doing that, I found the blanket that I was talking about where I crocheted, I don't know, between 100 and 200 rectangles. I really don't remember. Um, and so I still have to put the border on every single one of those rectangles and join them together because they're granny rectangles. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do that while we're live before I start on another project, right? Because it just makes sense to try to finish this one before I start on another blanket, which is in more squares, which could possibly take who knows how long. So I was like, yeah, I can do the border. It should be relatively easy. And then the joining, of course, the joining, setting them up how I want them. That won't be as fun, but it'll be a good way to do it on the live and actually get it done. And if if anybody's like, oh, I want to do rectangles or something like that, then I can just show them how to do a rectangle really quick. But let's see, the chat is moving and I'm just steadily placing dots down. It played the whole time though, because I woke up and your live had ended. Well, thank you. Well, I didn't even know you had been here. So you must have just lurked and started it. You have had a very rough day, y'all. Terry, well, I don't know what else is going on with him, but he did get the dog to the vet today. Hi, Camille. I'm glad you made it in. Oh, no, so it's something other than the dog. Terry says, I got scammed on everything I've bought to replace my tools. How did you get scammed, Terry? What happened? Jane says, looks great. Don't rush for us. Just do whatever you want to work on. You're so sweet. You are so sweet. But you know, I feel like I thought that this was going to be like a 2 or 3 day project. And I was looking last night when I was putting, oh, y'all, I got to put my music thing on here before I get gigged. Hang on. You know, when you get older, it looks like it gets a little bit harder to like multitask, I think. Or at least it has for me. Like I used to be an amazing multitasker. And here I am just because I have to type in a few words. I'm like, hang on, like that never happened before in my life. But here we are, right? Okay, so that's done. But yeah, so I thought it was only going to be like 2 or 3 days. And then when I was like updating like my titles and stuff like that last night, I noticed that I think today is day 7. It could be day 8. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like going on a lot longer than I thought. So I was like, people want to go back, I would think, to crochet and the other, but I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I know Granny said that day before last, she's like, just do what you want to do. But I do think like finish this one and I mean, I don't know if I'm going to finish it today. That's my goal, but they can be deceiving. It looks like I'm so close to being done, but y'all, it really is deceiving. Jane, did you start yours? Let's see, the toolboxes. Well, Terry, did you not check the toolbox before you gave them the money? They didn't tell me, and none are the air tools I got to work. Oh man, that stinks. You know, people are just not trustworthy now. Or I can't say that. There's a lot of untrustworthy people out there. There is still good people out there. And that's kind of like what we got to focus on, right? The good. But yeah, I hate that happened to you. I mean, that's just one thing after the other. Hey, Shoy. Hi, welcome. I did, but now the lid won't open without... Oh. Is it like stuck, or is it like, does it need... Well, no. What am I talking about? I was going to say, does it need oil? Like, I mean, you would know that, right? Is it something, I mean, you seem to fix things, so is it something that you can fix by any chance, or no? It's stuck shut. I can fix it, but I have to grind the latches off and put padlocks on it. I mean, yeah, so you did get scammed because you didn't get what you paid for, but if you can fix it, then it won't be a total loss, even though it is more work for you. Almost, Jackie got everything ready, and then unexpected busy happened. Yeah, I got busy today too. Y'all, we got, I don't know if you call it snow, because it just sounds, well, sounds and looks like sleet, but it's white out there and looks snowy, but it's really just kind of all ice, but it's still coming down. Our power flickered on and off a couple of times, but other than that, it's good. I mean, we haven't been out, you know, like you can't drive on ice, so we haven't been out there, but it actually happened, you know, because a lot of time they say, oh, you know, this is going to happen, and it doesn't happen. So I probably could have gone out there and made like a snowman, but it wouldn't have been like a big or pretty snowman with fluffy snow. You know, it would have been more like an ice man. It is. Then a so-called buddy was going to sell me his box for 75, then jack the price. How do you go from 75 to 250? That's what you're saying, so-called. Well, Jane, will you start on it like while you're in the chat, or no? Granny, I also want to try to figure out, remember like in our first life together, you you were working on a blanket and you got like so many rows done because you were doing like speech to text in your chat. How do you even do that? Because I don't know how. And I'm like, that would work pretty good. But I mean, you'd still have to read the chat. But I mean, even if I guess if you're not actually like talking to the chat, but like maybe talking to the host, like the host says something and then you can just talk it back instead of actually having to stop what you're doing to type. I think that would be great. I'm pretty sure you have an Android. I have an iPhone, so I don't know if my iPhone does, like, of course, like voice to text, but not like when I'm, it's like when I'm, what am I trying to say? Not when I'm like in YouTube, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. That's possible. Hi, Carrie. Welcome. Hope you've had a great day. So, Carrie, we are working on this diamond painting. My goal is to finish it tonight. I don't know if that's going to be possible because it can be deceiving where it looks like it's almost done, but then it's like it really isn't. But that's what I'm going for. And if I don't finish it, I don't think I will come back and do another live with it. I mean, if I do, it would be like maybe to like put in like the last 5 dots just for everybody that actually hung out with me while I was doing it, so that we can like finish it together. But I don't know. Hopefully I can just do it now. I had to stop my diamond paint. Why? If you're lurking in the background, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you like the content, go ahead and hit the subscription button. You don't have to come into the chat if you don't want. I don't mind, not at all. But if you do want to chat, you can come in and chat. Let's see. Surely we have it figured out when we're coming down, but we're coming from Austin. So you're going to move first and then go see Granny. No, I didn't realize that little part right there is not in the camera. We will just adjust as we have to. Not wow. Aw. It's okay though. I'm looking forward to it. Please hit the thumbs and share and subscribe. Thank you, Jane. Ooh, I almost spilled the beads, dots, gems, whatever we want to call these little things. That's something Diana said, don't do that. I almost did it. It's because I'm trying to move fast. I'm going to guess what Jane says. Jane says, enjoy the process. Take your time, enjoy the process. I'm enjoying it though. I miss somebody coming in. Hi, Brandy. I listen to audiobooks when I do my diamond painting. I have only, well, other than last night where I did 2.5 hours after my live, I normally did, well, I can't say normally. This is my first one that I've worked on ever, and I've done it live and chatting to folks. But I imagine, yeah, listening to your audiobooks would be great, or music, or whatever, you know. You're killing two birds, one stone right there, right? Reading a book and crafting. I've been working on a gorgeous baby blanket for the past 2 days. Is that the white, pink, and red? I'm excited to finish it this weekend. Glad you're here. Yeah. So I take it, Brandy, you're not diamond painting now? I bet that's going to be so pretty. I think I just dropped one of these. I heard it. I don't see it. I get lost in the book and the painting. No, I finished my last one. I have to start a new one. Hope we get to see it when you're finished. I know it'll be beautiful. It sounds beautiful. And the colors is like perfect for this time of year. Portia, baby blanket. So is it the one that looks like it starts with the square in the middle? That is pretty. So are you just changing the color every few rounds? is very pretty. I think it's going to look great with the color changes. Sometimes when I'm looking at this, I feel like I need a magnifying glass. I mean, I can see it, but just because of the ones that I miss, you know, like I'm like, how do I keep missing these? So I think we'll come right. Yeah, you can see that right down there. Any more beads till I ran out? Two-weight yarn and cotton and acrylic. That's gonna feel good too. It's gonna last a long time. Oh, okay, so you're not changing colors, it's just a gradient in those colors. Okay. That's even better. You don't have to do any of the work. I mean, you are doing the work, you know what I mean. The color changing work, it just does it for you. That's the best kind. I'm color controlling it a little. If a color changes mid-row, I take it out and start on the next row so it doesn't look wonky. You know, I don't ever do that. I either like do my own color changes, or if it's you know, its own color changes, I just leave it. I probably shouldn't, but that's the way I do it. But that makes sense though, because those are pretty squares, so you wouldn't want it. That's probably why I normally work with a lot of color changes. So let's see, do I have any other crafters in here? Camille, did you start you're not starting the bolero yet, right? And then, so Granny's working on the blanket. Terry is watching and listening. Jane is watching and listening. And Brandy finished one. I don't, Brandy, are you going to start one tonight, or are you just going to wait to start one at a different day? And then Carrie, what are you working on? And y'all, I'm probably forgetting names because I'm just going from from memory here. So I probably missed a lot of names. Forgive me if I did. But if I didn't ask you, then what are you working on? Talking to a barbecue friend. Oh, hi Michelle. How are you? Welcome. Color control. Yes, it was row by row across. I would let the yarn do its magic, but with the square, I thought it would. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It does. It will look better. Michelle, what are you working on? I haven't started yet. I'm sitting here listening to you, trying to figure out what to crochet on. Probably should start the bolero. My mind is squirreling. Yeah, you could start the bolero, or you're so close to being done with that cow that you could probably finish that cow before this live is over. Michelle is saying hi to everyone. Let's see. Hi, hi, hi. Just pretty captivated watching you diamond paint. I'll start it on a different day. It'll be a moonscape. That'll be pretty. What colors? Dark colors? I should. You should do that, cow. I think you could finish it. And if not, come pretty close to it. You'll probably have some sewn on parts. And then you'll be so close, you'll be like, I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm going to finish sewing on these next few parts. And then you'll be done. Because I was surprised when you shared like how far along you actually were with all the little bits done. So all you really have is the body. I can't remember. Were the legs already attached to the body when you showed it? I think they were. Hey, God's Desire, welcome. What are you working on? I don't know if Michelle told me what she was working on. I don't think so. Nothing tonight, just relaxing. That's good. Well, God's Desire, we did get, I don't know if you want to call it snow. It's more like just sleet. I mean, it looks white out there, but it's all icy, even though they are calling it snow. But, and it's still coming down. So it's ice. Not pleasant. I don't even know how cold it is out there right now. Let's see. 33 degrees. Sleet so far. Yeah, you know, they called for it. It was supposed to start this morning at around 7. And when I got off of the live, it was like within 30 minutes of that, I kept hearing all this noise. I'm like, what in the world is that? Because, you know, they didn't say sleet, they said snow, and snow don't make noise. And I went out there and it, it was just ice falling. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm stirring my decaf coffee. I know that makes a lot of noise. Diana, my goal is to finish this today. I may not reach my goal, but that is what I am going for. Which is why I worked on it last night after the live, so I can get closer and closer to being done. But then when I'm looking at it now, I'm like, there's still a lot to go. Hey Kelly, how are you? Welcome. Let's see, Granny says, my daughter's doing ballet in the kitchen. Oh, I bet she looks beautiful and every joint from her hips. Oh my gosh, I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's so funny to me because that's my joints. She's young though, but I mean, she's like, what, 10 years younger than my daughter, 8 or so. And my daughter's like that too. She pops. She's like, I should not pop like this. I'm too young. I'm like, yeah, well, it happens. Pretty sure I saw them. Okay, here they are. So she started the ballet already? Now, is she just doing ballet like at home, or is she actually gonna go somewhere and take the classes? Or is she gonna like just follow somebody like on some channel or something? And she'll have 2 classes a week. Oh, that's a lot to start out with. How long are the classes? Um, I made her call and clear it with her doctor. Well, yeah, that's good. Because I mean, you say it's like physical, she's going to use it in place of physical therapy, but ballet is hard. It's hard on the joints. An hour, so 2 hours a week. That should be good. The instructor also has arthritis and said she can teach her very good workarounds for the hard things. That's good. Maybe she can teach you and then you can teach me. She was so excited to go back to it since high school ended and band can band with it. All she has done is work and school. Yeah, I bet. Yep, that's good. Oh man, no. Let's build them. But just on the canvas, so hopefully. Not too bad, not too bad. They didn't, only one stuck. They stick so easily. Well, good thing it wasn't like on the floor. It's because I need more of this stuff. It's not sticking. I'm having to push down too hard. Um, she's been lost without band. So did Murphy start doing band because she did band? Have her look and see if there is a community band in the area. Granny, is she going to be able to drive back and forth from school, or is she going to have to move out? She'll have to move. And so when did she do that? But also the band director thought he was getting a violet cone when he was recruiting him to. That didn't work out like he planned. It's been a long time since I played. I wish I still did. And she's so excited. That's wonderful. The instructor is going to teach her how to work around. Yeah, that is really good that they're going to do that. That way she can enjoy it, and not hurt herself in the process. All right, did I finish this color? Maybe. Let me get my little magnifier, see if I can see a little bit better. Even though the light, well, I mean, it needs batteries, but I'm not going to put batteries in it because they went bad so quickly. Oh no, the light's working now. I wonder why it didn't work the last time I tried to use it. Oh. You know, even with that, it's kind of like blurry to me. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next color. It looks like it might be done, but we can always just come back if it's not. That's what I'm going to go with. Because, I mean, I still have all of those, so I'm thinking that it's not done, and it probably isn't, but I just don't see any. And then I'll have to go, once they're all in place, I'll have to go and see where I missed whatever I missed. Let's see, what should I, what I miss? It's great. She decided to slow down a bit, so it's only taking part-time classes for the next new semester, so she'll transfer to the university in August of 20. Oh, okay. So she's got a while. She's terrified to grow up and wants to stay home another year. That's okay. All right, cow body finish. No way. That quick, huh? Thanks for encouraging me. You're welcome. I found that they tend to give you more than you need, just in case. Okay. We found a great place for her to dorm, though, right across the street from the university, and private bedroom and bath. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. But you found that already? Like, I mean, she still has a year and a half, over a year and a half. All right, so we're going to work 13, 5. We're going to work on the M's. It does sound really nice. We were trying to get her motivated, so we looked at everything, even places she could work close to. And she decided, nope, I'm not going anywhere, not yet. So, Camille, were the legs part of the body? Were the legs already done, or are you gonna have to make the legs now? Hi, Layla. Welcome. Oh, thank you for the like. She's supposed to graduate from AS this semester. Well, need to make next sewing on the tail. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember when you showed it if the forelegs were already there or if you had to do them. Yeah, as you sew things on, it's going to look more and more together. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it. Michelle, I don't know if you answered me. What are you working on? If you did, will you type it in again, please? And I don't know if Kelly's here or if she said goodnight already, but Kelly, if not, what are you working on if you're still here? If you want to share, you don't have to share. It's okay. For the y'all that have come in, my goal is to finish this today. Will I reach it? I don't know. Am I trying? Yes. She'll have enough credits, but not enough prerequisites for the degree. So she'll spend the next year taking Chem 1 and 2, Organic Chem, and Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, and Calc. Oh my goodness! Why did she leave all that for last? Ugh. But now it's going to be so tough on her. It'll definitely keep her busy. She's a smart cookie. And she'll be able to take 2 at a time and then do fine. Plus, the expense difference is huge between community college and the university. Yeah. This diamond painting I got at the Hobby Lobby. I got it. It was on a 40% off week. So I was pretty happy with the price because I didn't know if I was gonna like doing it. So I didn't want to, like, spend a lot of money on it. Where do you get yours? Now I have ordered, since this one, I went back to the Hobby Lobby because there was a sea turtle one that I really liked, but it wasn't like a 40% week, so I didn't want to pay full price for it. So I didn't get it. But I went on Amazon and I found, it's probably not as pretty as the one that was at Hobby Lobby, but I'm going to do it. And then if I still want the other one, then I'll just have to try to figure out when the 40% off for that section is and wait and go get it then. But I ordered a few from Amazon. My favorite place. All of them from Amazon. Yeah, I opened one last night that I got from Amazon, and it didn't come with the one from Hobby Lobby, comes with that clear stylus with the little rubber part, or silicone part. And so the Amazon one didn't have the little silicone part. And then the Amazon one didn't have the little container, this little container. I think that was, or the little baggies to put them in. But other than that, it seemed to be the same. Like the canvas and the sticky parts seemed the same. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience, so, you know, I mean, it probably is lower quality, but it feels fine. The only thing I didn't like for is I have it under a heavy book right now because it was all like, well, if you get them from Amazon, you know, it's all bunched up and all curled. Like this one was just ready to be used when I took it out. That other one has to lay flat for a while. So pretty soon I'm going to open all of them just so that I can lay them flat for whenever I am ready to use them. I don't have to wait. Yeah, they have a lot of choices. And then these little styluses, it was a pack of 3 that I got at Walmart. And I think there was like $3. And so it was like that. The one from Hobby Lobby came with this, which was fine, except for this keeps going up and down, and I didn't care for that all that much, but it works fine. And then a couple of the viewers have suggested not getting any of it from Temu, so I will take their advice and not get any from Temu. They haven't had a good experience with the diamond painting and Temu. Or however you pronounce it. I say Temu. It's probably wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That's all that matters. I feel like I'm moving like really fast, but yet like I'm moving so slow. Like, I mean, I know I'm moving a lot faster than I have like the previous days, but still feels like slow. I don't like when the gems are like stuck to each other. So since when have you been doing them, Brandy? Yeah, the Hobby Lobby one came with the baggies. Well, I've got a whole bunch of them in the baggies already. Yeah, it was a pretty good kit. Like I have no complaints on the kit. I'm glad I went with Hobby Lobby first because, you know, if I would have went with another one, I don't know, I probably wouldn't have liked it. I can tell you, I probably wouldn't have liked the fact that I have to flatten it out. And then I might have not wanted to do anymore. But now that, you know, I like the Hobby Lobby one, it's good. And then I got I went back to Hobby Lobby, and because they weren't having the 40% sale, I didn't get the sea turtle that I wanted, but they had a Christmas one that was 70% off, and I got it. And then they had one that was on clearance for like under $3, and I got 2 of them. There was the same design, but I got 2 of them. One of them is cupcakes, and the other one was a dog with Christmas hat on. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you left. I must have missed it. I don't. Maybe you didn't tell me. But okay, welcome back. I ended up getting a diamond painting kit that stores the jewels and the trays and different styluses in a bag. Yeah, I'm looking at getting, well, it wasn't the kit because it doesn't come with any of this, but it was a like an organizer. But it's really only the organizer for like the gems. My kids wanted to do them too, and we got a little overwhelmed with it. Well, you'll get to enjoy them, so that's good. That worked out. How often do you do them? I mean, obviously, you know, you don't want to like rush it because, you know, the quicker you finish it, the quicker you have to buy more to do more. So, like, you want to just take your time and enjoy it, which I have done with this one. We tore the house up looking for my brand new phone card, and it was Nicole's wallet. Oh no. Yeah, because I guess you could have tore up the whole house and not found it, so yeah. I will work on them until I get bored and then I switch to something else. ADHD crap. I scroll a lot. I scroll a lot too. Which I'm surprised that I haven't started any of the other ones. And I'm actually trying to get this one done. Granny Camille is doing where she has an amigurumi book and she is doing a wheel, like a random wheel picker. And so she'll put what amigurumis she is thinking about doing or wants to do. And then she'll put them in the wheel and she'll spin the wheel. You know, it's on the phone and it'll pick which one she's going to make. And so her first one, she just started a few days ago and it's a cow. And that's what she's working on right now. But I thought that's a really good idea. So I asked her to hook me up with the spinning thing because I tried some online and they didn't work. And so it's actually an app on the phone. And so I downloaded it last night. But what I want to work on is I bought I guess I'll stop putting these dots in and like show you for a minute, because where is the book? I moved all kinds of stuff today, so I'm like, where did I put that? Where is the book? Oh, right here, maybe? Nope, those are my patterns. Where's the book? Yeah, me too, Jane. Yep, absolutely. I need one of those. What, the gem organizers? That's super cool. ADHD crafters unite. That's the truth. I sit here by myself a lot of times. I'm like, squirrel, squirrel, because I mean, I just so easily distracted. Terry says, Brandy, I squirrel a lot too. What did I do with that book? Well, I'm going to continue putting dots in and then maybe it'll come to me. But I found a book because I've been doing a lot of reorganizing lately, trying to get all my stuff in my area on the shelf. And so, you know, you come across things you haven't seen in a minute. Like, where could it possibly be? Like, everything's right here. It's probably staring right at me. But anyway, so I came across this book, which I got like in the 90s. And it's just a sampler Afghan book. And so it has 63 different squares. And so I thought, and you know, the when you put it together, the pattern calls for 3 colors. And so I picked one color, which was like a variegated color, and then I'm going to pick 2 solid colors to go with it. But I figured I'd put in the numbers, you know, the 1 through 63, and let the spinner pick which square I was going to work on, and then also let the wheel pick what color I'm going to do that square in. And so that's what I was looking to start, because I am going to be working on those other 2 blankets that I want to do, which I need to show y'all the yarn for that. But if I start doing all that, I'm not going to reach my goal. I may not reach my goal anyway, but so yeah, so I would pick the square, which square I would do, because it's 63 different ones. I wish I could find the book. And then the color, and then I would make that square. And I would probably do the square, like, you know, in between, like, working on the other 2 blankets. Which is why, well, and I was looking to start that, like, after I finished this one. But then while I was putting stuff away, I came across however many rectangles those are. I really, truly don't remember. I say it's between 1 and 200, but I could be completely off. But they're in a vacuum sealed bag, and I have the way I'm going to sew them together. So I'm sure it'll tell me how many are in there. But I'm like, I need to finish that first. I need to finish that one first before I start, because you think about it, if I'm going to do the random one, that's going to be a blanket, because that's like a, I think, 5x7 blanket. And then I'm going to do the other 2 blankets. That's 3 huge blankets when there's one right here. I don't know what size it is. Probably another 5x7. I don't know. That's just been sitting here for, y'all, I can't tell you how long it's been sitting. Well, I'll tell you this. The reason it's been sitting is because I did the rectangles, and then I was like, like I don't really care for the yarn that much, and I'm so tired of making all these rectangles that I'm just gonna put it away for a while. Like, like I was just over the project. And but you put all that time into it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna put these away nice and safe, and then at some point I'll come back to it. And so this is the point that I'm coming back to it. And if I do it with y'all, I'll stay motivated and actually do it instead of like putting borders, because I first have to put the black border, and I don't like crocheting with black. Put the black border on and then sew them together. And like I want to finish it because it's a project that I started, but I really don't want to do it. But I'm gonna. And who knows? Maybe it'll be a little fun. But it's really bright colors. If y'all have seen the kaleidoscope blanket that I did, it's those colors, so it's very bright. And I think the reason I started was because I had extra yarn. Like I bought a whole bunch of yarn for the kaleidoscope one, and then I had a whole bunch of extra yarn, and I was like, oh, I'll do this. And this probably wasn't the best, but I still think it'll be good. And I'll like it once it's done. And it'll be one less project because, y'all, while I was trying to organize stuff, and make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Not have. Well, oh wait, I must have missed something. I squirrel a lot. Jacquie, what do the gems stick to? Is it cloth, canvas? Canvas. Well, no, it's cloth. I don't know. What is this? It's not plastic. It's fabric. It's very nice, actually. It's a lot nicer than the Amazon one, but the Amazon one is still good. It's like it feels the same. It's just not as thick as this one. Camille says not hat. LOL. Oh, nose is on the cow. Hat now, not hat. Okay. About to start the udders since I have the pink out. So the udders and the legs, right? Well, no, you'll have the ears. I go between this, crochet, sewing, crafting, and reading. Oh, so you do crochet. Good. Yes. That's what this channel is mainly about, crochet and Addi knitting. But we throw other things in. I throw other things in there as well. Really just kind of like what I'm in the mood for. Like I don't like being put in a box, like I do me. I read almost every night. I should read more. I do read, but I don't read almost every, well, I read every morning. I read the Bible every morning, but I should read a lot more than just the Bible. I cannot not read. Is it the pink and green and cream squares on the front? Granny, I don't understand. Is it the pink and green and cream squares on the front? That'll be fun. Yeah, it sounds like fun, Brandy. I have so many random whips. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying, but then I have to catch up with the chat. While I was trying to organize all this stuff, I have so many things in the works that I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I put them all in a big plastic tote so that I can start trying to finish those. But that's the thing, I get bored and I'm like, okay, I'm bored of this. I'm moving on to something else. Dad and I are gonna work on the toolbox tomorrow, so it'll kind of be fixed till the new parts come in. That's good. I'm glad he's gonna help you. Yes. Udders and legs is all that's left. Yay! See, you're gonna be done. Brandy's asking Camille, reading is my first, or telling Camille, reading is my first love. I have about 6 things I need to finish from last year. Most are very close to complete, but they are sitting here taunting me. I know what you're talking about. The sampler blanket book with pink, green, and no, it does not have any pink squares. It's cream, green, and blue, I do believe. So the one you're looking at might be like a newer version of it, because like this one's really old. I wish I knew what I did with it. Like I just had it a little bit ago. I moved it from one table to somewhere. to somewhere. Oh, I found it. I have it with the yarn that I picked for it. So hang on a sec. It was right here. I put it on the Addi. Because I was running out of room. It's this one. And so it's like a sampler. And the reason I decided, well, because I like the way Camille did it, and I thought that's a great idea, but also because like the first like 3 squares is like the first one is all single crochet, the second one's all double, the next one is all treble, and I was like, I know me, and I would just get bored immediately, and so I was like, that'll add some fun to it, you know, and so like I won't know what so this is kind of what it looks like. This is some of the squares. So you do the squares and then you add the square, and then you have the edging on some of them, and then you'll join them. So I thought it was really pretty. But like I said, I mean, I bought this in the 90s, and the book is well used though, because I've gone in like, because I taught myself how to crochet. You know, there was no YouTube, there was none of that. So I would go in and I, you know, find out how to do a stitch and then do my project. So that's the book. Let's see what I've missed. Udders, Camille. Sample book. I'm a sucker for the shopping bags from Crackle Barrel. Yeah, and I put a crochet project and the yarn in those with the hook, and then put them in the tote. The shopping bags, like they're plastic bags or they're paper bags. I have so many bags. I just put them in bags. No particular way. I just pick a bag that they fit in. The one I have is ancient. It might be totally different. LOL, probably is. Oh, I like that. Yeah, this one, I think, I looked it up yesterday. I think it was 97 is the date on it. Yeah, 97. So that's probably when I got it. Because, you know, back then, I mean, unless you had somebody teaching you, I didn't have anyone teaching me. So I had to buy books. And so this is one of the books that I have bought. And then I have a binder that has other books, which is how I learned. You know, when you teach yourself, it may not be the right way, but you teach yourself. And so I taught myself, and I do what I do. Oh, I like that. They're the reusable tote bags. Like oh, okay. Old pattern books are great. And I used to subscribe, I don't even know, to some magazine like forever ago. And I think I have some of those issues that I kept for like pretty things, you know, for making. Because that was, you know, that was before the time that you can just go online and buy patterns or Google patterns and um, you know, and then Hobby Lobby started doing where they would put those little sheets or whatever packets, you know, in the yarn aisle, and you could just see if there was a pattern that you wanted to do, and you take the little sheet home with you. They still have some of those. I haven't seen any of those for a while, probably because they're just not needed anymore. But you don't find crochet books, pattern books, or anything like that at the stores anymore, you know, like you used to. I mean, you can online, but like as far as like going to Joann's or Michael's and being able to pick up a crochet book, I haven't seen any. Yeah. Yeah, I did my, let me show you my emotional support chicken. I got this pattern on Pinterest. I keep her close by because I love her. So I haven't named her yet. But is she not just the cutest little thing? If you want a better look of her, there's a short on her, but and look, she's so squishy. She's just so squishy. She's so lovable. Keep her right here. So I can look at her. She makes me smile. Thank you. That was a pattern on Pinterest of somebody that I had never heard of or anything like that. And I was like, I hope it's a good pattern, because sometimes, you know, when they're free patterns, you pick patterns and they're not good patterns. And then it's like a waste of your time and yarn. But that one was a good pattern. I'm going to make it, because that was in blanket yarn. I also want to make her in, I have leghorn chickens, which are white with the really floppy comb. And so I want to make one in white, but I think that was going to be with the chenille yarn. And it'll probably be half the size just because that yarn is so much thinner. But I am going to make one in white. And I think I'm going to make one in brown as well for my other chickens. Thank you, Jane. And she was made in, what was it, Bernat blanket speckle, and the colorway is typewriter. But as soon as I made her, I was like, yep, I'm not selling her. She's my first chick. Well, she's my first that kind of chicken. I've made a chicken with worsted weight yarn, and it was a different kind of chicken. As I turn around and look to see if the chicken, the bag is behind me, but it's not. So, but that was a really good pattern too. I don't remember the creator, but she's got good patterns. Oh, Granny, did you finish Tanner? I used to make photography props for babies and had to modify patterns a lot because of bad patterns. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones out there, especially now. I mean, there was bad ones before, but now with like AI that just like combines all kinds of information, you don't know what you're getting. You really don't. So like I try to stick with like creators that I know that I've done their work before, or if I see something that somebody's done and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful, you know, what pattern did you use? Or go to Etsy and buy patterns because, you know, you got to support their creators, right? So sometimes I buy patterns just to have in case I ever want to do, and in the process support a creator. Because pattern designing, if you do it right, is not all that easy. I mean, I guess it can be if, you know, you've been doing it for years, but it's still time consuming, you know. It is awful, Brandy. Oh my gosh, did you see my elephant one? That is like, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. That is the hardest thing I have ever done. And I have to look. I think, did I not put it in this description box of the short? That pattern is like that thick, but it has like the words and it has all the pages for all the graphs, and it's all single crochet. And see, squirrel, I'm like, why did I pick up my phone? What am I doing here? Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think I have it. I thought that was such a cute blanket. When I saw it online, I was like, oh, I have to do that. My daughter loves elephants and she loves pink. And so I can't remember because it's been a while now. I can't remember if they had pink or if it was Marilyn Monroe. I think, no, they had pink. And I was like, oh, she could always like grow out of liking pink, but she'll always like elephants. And she still loves pink. But yeah, I don't have it on this phone, so I can't show y'all. But I will look, Jane. If it's not in the short, I'll look it up. I think I added it because I remember having to look it up. And actually, when when I got the pattern, the chains that it had listed on there to chain were incorrect. So I emailed her and let her know. And because I think she maybe didn't crochet the pattern, like maybe it was like she just generated it like through a web page or something like that, you know, like you can do with like Stitch Fiddle and stuff. And like just the first row was off, and so she fixed that. Oh, you know what? I think, let me see, because I have my Instagram on here. Okay, Camille. See you in a minute. I have a few patterns in the work, but they're not easy to me. Like, I feel like they take, oh, I don't know. That's why I say they're hard, because I feel they're hard for me. Okay, so I did find it on the Instagram, so I'm going to try to show it on here and see if it'll show good. And so, let's see. All right, so this is like just like the beginning. It's coming along. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. Thank you. And I can't tell y'all how long it took me. I know it was a long time. Like it was, I did write it down like as I was going. Like I had a little notebook just to like see how long. But I would do it and I would get annoyed with it and I would put it away and then I'd get it back out because I knew I had to do it and I would get annoyed with it and I'd put it back up and we went back and forth like that, I think for like 3 or 4 years. 3 years, I don't know, it was a long time. And there's probably a couple hundred hours in it. But I also frogged a lot because I think it was the first time that I had actually worked on something um, that big, that detailed. So if I did it now again, it probably would be easier. Would I want to do it again? No. Oh, Granny, you weren't here last night. So my daughter lives in LA, and I made a cheeseburger. Yum. Thank you. So she lives in LA, and they have the fires going, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing like I did last night, but I called her the day before last, and she's like, oh, it's fine. There's just a lot of smoke. It's smoky in the apartment. It smells of smoke. She's like, but it's not too bad. She goes, but I'm at work, and it's really bad here. And she's like, the patients must really be in pain because if not, they wouldn't come out in this. And so I was like, are you gonna like go somewhere? Like, are you gonna leave? And she's like, oh no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And I'm like, you really shouldn't be inhaling it, that kind of stuff, the motherly thing. But I mean, she's grown, you know. And she was like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm like, okay, well, you're there, so you know I'm not there. So I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, from others. And then that night, so yesterday was Thursday, so Wednesday night, I see that the fire started in Hollywood Hills or spread to Hollywood Hills or whatever it was. And I'm like, because at first she had told me, oh, yeah, it's, like you can smell it and all that, but it's a good ways from here. Well, that night when I saw it was at Hollywood Hills, I was like, I was just there in November and we went to that area and it wasn't very far at all. Um, so when Dad got home, I told him, I'm like, you may want to talk to her, see if she has any plans of doing anything. And so anyway, she let us know after that that she actually left. So she's in San Diego right now. I almost said San Antonio. I don't know why I'm thinking Texas, but so she's in San Diego. So she did get out. They made it there, so it's not like they got like stuck in traffic from like all the evacuations and stuff like that. So I don't know how bad it is, like where she's coming back to or when she's coming back to. And I'm giving her till tomorrow because when she didn't seem like she wanted to talk, and I don't blame her, you know. But that blanket and something that her dad made for her, she took. So she told us, she's like, so I got the blanket mom made and I got, what dad made. She goes, and those made it into the essentials, my essentials, and they're with me now. And I was like, that is so stinking sweet. And and Dad's like, she didn't have to take that. I could have just made her one. It's not like it was hard. He goes, now that blanket, yeah, she needed to take that blanket. And I said, if she really wanted me to make her another one, I would, especially if it was, like, it's not like she's not taking care of it, it's that, that happened. I was like, I wouldn't want to, but I would if she asked me to. But so it's in San Diego with her. And I was like, that's sweet that she took that she realized the hard work that went into it and actually thought about it. Because who, like, I don't know that I would actually think about a blanket if I have to like leave, quickly. Like a blanket, it just I don't think would cross my mind. Yeah. I'm so glad that she did leave, because what we were worried about was like, okay, she'll make the decision and she'll leave, but is she going to make the decision too late and then be stuck like hours on the interstate, breathing all that stuff in? Thanks for showing the app. And if you find the pattern description sometime, I will let you know. If I don't have it online, I have it in, I know exactly in the drawer that it is. It's just at the very bottom of the drawer because I've kept it, because I don't, you know what, Jane? I don't know why I kept it. Because like I said, I don't think I'll ever make it again. Oh, you know what though? Let me look on that again, because I think I did give credit to that website on the Instagram. No, I don't see it. Maybe it was on YouTube. Heck, I don't know. But I definitely will. Yeah, I know, right? Like, who would think? Like, I wouldn't have thought. I was definitely. Yeah, me too. That was so weird. I actually asked our prayer warriors last night to pray because, even though she's safe now and she's where she's going, I worry that when she comes back, will her apartment be there? Will all her things be there? Will the clinic that she works at, will that be there? That kind of thing. Because it's still not under control. So, I mean, it may all turn out fine, and I hope it does. Well, it's not gonna all turn out fine, because we know so many people are already displaced and so many people have lost their homes and everything that they have in life. but I'm talking just like for her, because obviously we know things are not fine. She is, what, did she turn 29 this year? Yeah, she turned 29. Well, in 2024, she'll be 30 this year. Well, not till the end of the year. Thank you. So I've been like chatting a lot, so I don't think I'm gonna reach my goal. But like I said in the beginning, these little things are deceiving. Like, you think you're so close to being done, and then it's like you're really not, which I kind of like though, because I'm definitely getting my money's worth on this, you know, because I can go for hours and hours and hours and not really have to think either. I think Granny asked me something earlier. Yeah, and she'll be 30 in November. But she's like mommy's little girl. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate it. But like, yeah, when she was like, oh, it's far, because, you know, I don't know the areas over there. But then when they came in last night or not last night, the night before, and they said the Hollywood Hills, I was like, okay, I know we were there, and it took us, I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes to get there by car, but that's because LA traffic is like insane. Like, just to go 10 miles will take you forever. Like, we're like, we can walk quicker than we can get there in this traffic. So I was like, yeah, that's a little too close. They'll still be our babies, yep. But she does, when she gets sick, she's like, Mama, I'm sick. What do I do? Make me feel better. I'm like, I'm so far away, but I tell her what to do, and then, you know, baby her a little. Because, I mean, she is the whole country away from me. Yeah, and I don't know what made, like, she just decided to stay in California because that was her last station, because she was in the Navy, and she was, well, first of all, she was stationed in the Middle East, and then after the Middle East, she got stationed. She didn't have very good duty stations because she was in the Middle East, and she got stationed in Cuba, and then after that, she got sent to LA, or, well, not LA, but California. And then, so she did her time there, and while she was there, she decided she didn't want to continue. She wanted to get out, go to school. And so that's what she did. I mean, the military's still paying for her school, so that's good. But she goes to school. She did her first two. She got out. She did her first 2 years in school, and then she got her job, well, she moved from where she was stationed to LA, and then she got her job, and she is going for another, I think, 2 or 3 years of school. This parenting job never ends. There always are babies. Yeah. My 39-year-old called me last week asking me to make her chicken soup because she had the flu. Yeah. She'll be like, I want chicken and dumplings. I want chicken soup. How do I make this? I'm like, so I've just got on my phone now. You know how I sent you that cookie recipe, Granny? That's I'll have like recipes in my phone, like her favorites, and I just send them to her. But she's no interest in canning because I'm like, if you would learn how to can, you can make these things and have them in your pantry good for like a really long time. And then when you get sick and you need chicken soup or you want the chicken and dumplings, you don't have to make it. You would pop the jar open, heat it up, and you would be good to go. But she's no interest in it. Because when I got sick over Christmas, um, which I'm still not completely better, I don't understand why this thing is lingering around. But um, for like the first 3 days when I did eat, it was chicken soup from that I had canned. So I would just open my, open the jar, heat it up, put of course, because garlic and onion are really good for when you're sick. Throw some garlic cloves in there and some just roughly chop onion with skin and everything and throw it in there and let it come to a boil. And then I had just like that in like 5 minutes I had my sick soup, with my antibiotics and my nutrients and everything that I need. And I didn't have to worry about getting anything out of a can, a store-bought can or anything like that. Maybe, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing like my homesteading thing, like the canning and like the gardening, because I'm like, when I'm gone, like maybe at that point she would want to know, or well, the kids would want to know something like that, and they would have it available to them. But they may never. That's okay too. I mean, because I didn't learn canning. I learned canning from the Ball Book and the USDA, so I didn't learn it from anyone. And so they may decide that's the way they want to do it, but if they ever wanted to watch mom do it, then they could. Let's see, Granny says, oh, for crying out loud, I'd have gotten out after the Middle East tour. Well, she couldn't, when you sign a contract, you basically sign your life away. So she had to wait till her time was up, and then she just didn't re-enlist. And she was actually going to re-enlist initially. But like, you get your orders like 6 months out. So like 6 months before her end of tour, she would get her order. And so they were gonna put her on a stinking ship for a year. And she was like, nope. So then she was like, well, she had talked to us about wanting to get out prior to that, like doing schooling and all that, but she was like, maybe I'll get a good station and then I could like still be there, do that and go to school like at the same time. But they did, and they wanted to put her on a ship out in the middle of nowhere for, well, a year. I mean, it could have extended after that, but yeah, a year. And so, of course I was worried because, I mean, she was in the military, she was doing well, she was going up the ranks relatively easily. well, not easily, but you know, she worked hard to get to where she was at. And so I was concerned that coming back into civilian life, you know, you can veer off and go off course. And but so far she's done exactly what she has, you know, what she set out to do. So, but now with, you know, these fires and stuff, I hope that it's not too rough and like, you know. And James goes, ah, for the chicken soup. And she lives close to you though, right? So you could have made it to her and take it. You said she's like 15 minutes away or something like that. LOL. That's why I started my channel, so my kids would always have me to tell them how to make. Yeah. Well, and you know, that's why I did that recipe saying that way I can, you know, because you can follow a recipe. Granted, you know, like canning and stuff like that, that's harder, and like gardening, you know. But now when she needs a recipe, I don't have to write it all down or type it or anything like that. I just go in there, punch in the name, and send it. I remember my mama canning all the time. I wish she would have let me learn from her. You can learn. You can learn, Brandy. If you ever decide to learn, you need to, well, you can do whatever you want because you're grown. But I would recommend that you, if you're going to learn from like somebody on YouTube, that it be someone that does it the proper way. Because I watch some folks and they have lots of followers. And I'm like, you know, because when that person dies or gets deathly ill, you know, that YouTube person's not going to have anything to do with it, you know. But I'm like, the information that's out there is terrifying. And these people that do it, they just like stick to it. They're like, you know, I've been doing it this way, or, you know, you've gotten lucky all these years. So, like, all my canning is basically by the book. Um, but I've seen people canning like some stuff that should never be canned. But there are some good ones out there, but there are some crappy ones out there as well. Poppy was always pretty lucky with that. His first duty station was Pearl Harbor. When she re-enlisted, because she did her first tour. Before her first tour, which I had never heard of, but before her first tour was over, she went on vacation to Hawaii, and that's when she was, yeah, she must have been in Cuba, and she went, she was in Hawaii, and while she was in Hawaii, she re-enlisted, and her re-enlistment she did at Pearl Harbor, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Probably was second was Kings Bay in Georgia. Yeah, Kings Bay though, because she thought about putting for Kings Bay when she was leaving the Middle East, and um, it would not be a good place for her. So, well, plus she said only like certain people like get it, like in the position that she was in. Like she's like for one, it wouldn't be like she kind of liked it because she was like, oh, I'll be close to home or closer, you know. But um, she would have to be out like in the harbor for like 12 hours at a time with like I don't know, like different things with like the restroom and stuff, and like I was like, oh, that sounds horrible, and she's like, it is. So she didn't put in for it after she found out everything, because they were like, she was a good sailor, so they were like, you know, we'll try to get you where you want. Um, and I think she put in for Cuba actually, because they had told her they would try to get her where she wanted. But I mean, she liked Cuba other than the fact that she couldn't leave base. You know, like the people can't come into the base, the sailors can't go out of the base. So she was just stuck there unless she took leave. I feel like, oh no, there it is. Third was 9 years in Virginia. Yeah. Well, just because of the places, though, too, the duty stations could be bad, you know, just as far as like what they have to do and what they got to go through and that kind of stuff. So it's not always just about the actual place. But when she was in the Middle East, that was bad because the locals, like, there was like no respect for like females. And you know, like if they were like doing PT or anything like that, and they had to, you know, like if they were gonna like run outside the base, like they couldn't do it in their Navy gear. And yeah, so that was not fun. I mean, she it was fine while she was there. She, you know, her off time was fun and stuff like that. But sometimes she would say, "Oh, it's okay," and then sometimes she's like, "It's miserable." um, the suit daughter is only 4 miles away. Okay, I asked Poppy to take me over to deliver it to her. So you did make it. Look at you. Some folks out there teaching people how to eat botch. Exactly, exactly. And you know, I don't like judging, and I'm not gonna like, you know, people do what they do. But if I can prevent someone from getting sick, then, you know, like with her not knowing, you know, it's like make sure you get it from somebody who knows, because you can get very sick. You know, even they're like, oh, there's only like so many cases of botulism that we are aware of. You know, how many of those people died and nobody knows what they died of, because you don't know to look for botulism unless you're looking for it. My mama has a few canning books that I found in her stuff the other day, and I definitely want to try it. My aunt knows how. I'm thinking about staying with her for a little this summer to learn. I know some things you can water bath, but some things have to be pressure cooked, but I need to learn the difference. Yeah. When I learned we were going to Virginia, I cried for weeks. I didn't want to live in Norfolk. We ended up buying a house in Chesapeake and lived happily ever after. Why didn't you want to go to Virginia? We were in Quantico, Virginia for a while. Well, if y'all are jumping in, well, we're not all military, but me, my husband, and my daughter are military. We have moved so many times, it's hard to count. Do you like moving? Or you just move to just change? Or for jobs? One, cold. Two, Norfolk is nasty. Three, cold. I was a Florida girl. Oh, so yeah, so I never finished with her. So then when she got to California and they were gonna put her on the ship, and she was like, no. When it came time for her to get out, she got out and she came home for a couple of months, and we're like, well, what are you planning? What are your plans? And she's like, well, I'm still gonna go to school. She had already signed up for the school before she got out, and She's like, I just have to find somewhere to live now, close to LA. And I'm like, well, why are you just trying to stay there? Why are you not going somewhere else? And she doesn't like the cold. And I guess she thought that was warm enough, even though she still thinks it gets cold there sometimes. So, but yeah, she doesn't like being in the cold at all. That's great. You can learn from your aunt. It definitely is. Canning books, like ball canning books, are wonderful resources. Yeah, you do have to be careful with some of the older books, like really old. I'm talking not like within the last 20 years or so, but like I've looked. I've actually have some on my tablet that are like really old, and I'm like, well, we now know that's not safe, you know. But I think they were from like the 60s, maybe 60 or 70s. You know, because people thought it was perfectly safe, and it's in some of those books where you do your uh, your jellies or your jams, you know, and you get them to a bowl and the pot, and then you just pour them into the jar, seal them really tight, and turn them upside down. Yeah, that's not good. And some people still do it that way. And then, well, they're older folks do. They got it from a book. And I know that a lot of it is precaution, you know, that of course these governmental agencies can't really put anything out there that they haven't tested, you know, rigorously, because then they could be held liable. But I think the only thing that I've done that hasn't been by the book or by a book is where I do raw canning, raw potato canning, um, which is basically that I don't blanch them first. And somebody told me that it was in a book that, like, I put it in my video, like, as a disclaimer, like, this is not, you know, approved or whatever. And somebody told me that I was wrong or something like that because it was now in a book. And I didn't go looking. I have the books that I have, and that's good enough for me. And that's maybe how a lot of people feel. But I did, because they said that, I went ahead and I ordered the new USDA guidelines on it from like 1 or 2 years ago. But I think I ordered it just like last year. And it was still not on there. So I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. But I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that I do that's not in one of the books. But I got it from a good source, and I have been doing it for a long time. Fine, but you know, I do put that disclaimer out there. And if you do it right, and if you wash all your stuff, you're good. But some people don't follow all the instructions either. But I watch people like water bath meats. And, you know, like the Amish, like they water bath their meats. They do it for like so many hours. And of course, you know, the Amish have been doing this stuff for years. And we don't know if they get sick. We don't know if they die from it, you know, because they're not going to the doctors and all that stuff. But I don't think they would be doing it if it was killing people. So it's probably okay, but they're experienced in doing it, and they know exactly what they're doing and how to do it, and so do their descendants and stuff like that. But when you try teaching, you know, regular folks that just want quick results, you know, it's not the same thing. Like, they know they have to water bath for however many hours, because I think that that's what they do with their meats. They go for, I don't know how many hours, because I don't do it that way, and I don't really care to do it that way. But I did look into it when I kept seeing things pop up, because I'm like, are people gonna like die from this? But And I don't, that's another thing that I don't understand from it, because if you're going to water bath meat, you're going to can meat and you're going to water bath them for however many hours, 6, 8 hours, whatever, it's just easier to put them in a pressure canner and be done in 90 minutes. Like, it's just more energy efficient, more everything efficient. So why would somebody want to do it like that other than to be a rebel and claim that they're a rebel canner? I don't know. I am not a rebel canner. I may be a rebel diamond painter here because, you know, I just did what I wanted to do. I didn't go in no specific order, but not in something that can make me and my family sick. I think I might be done with that letter. Yeah, bulk canning books. I like bulk canning books. Now, I haven't seen a recent, like a newer bulk canning book. Like, I don't remember how old mine is. Um, so, I mean, I guess I can't speak for them because, you know, they've changed the authors and I don't know. I thought about getting a new one just so that I could check it out. But I'm like, I don't really need a new one. And let's see, Terry says I was a traveling construction foreman. Oh, yeah, that would take you different places. I went where the work was. Yep. I learned to love the cold and learned to dress for it. Yeah, I still don't love the cold and I still don't love the hot. I remember my grandma making lye soap. I make lye soap. I have not made a video on it yet, but I do make a soap. I made, let's see, the one I have now is peppermint and oatmeal. Brandy says Jane Doe, one book came with the pressure cooker from my mama, and one is the modern guide to pressure canning and cooking from the Presto from 1955. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now the Presto is probably fine, but I don't know, a book from 1955. And I don't even know that a pressure cooker guide from, let's see, one book came from the pressure cooker modern guide. Yeah. So is the pressure cooker also from like the 50s? Yeah, those may not be good books. Let's see. But you know, if your aunt is using them and has used them, which I think, you know, that's how a lot of people do it. Like, you know, if it's a trusted source and they've been doing it, you know, like you know, like with me where I've been doing like the raw canning of the potatoes. So like if my daughter's been watching me do that for, you know, a couple of decades and we eat it all the time, you know, then she knows, you know, that's safe. You know, she can consider it safe. And that's probably like what a lot of people do. So like your aunt probably has recipes and they might come from those books. So I was going to do, I'm going to say 34. Did Camille ever come back? I know she said she was, I don't know if she came back. She goes for her walks. I was going to ask if she did the legs already. Yeah, those are really old books. That's before my time. I'd say they're from around this, yeah. And Jane's like, you should get a current book too. Yes, I highly recommend the current book. You know what's good too, though, because the bulb books are great. But if you get the USDA, I have it right behind me. You can make your own recipes and stuff as long as you follow like the amounts. And they do come out with one every so often. So, okay, this is the 2023 edition. And the only reason I got it was to see if something had changed with the potatoes, like that person said. But it wasn't in this book, so I would still keep my disclaimer. But this is the ball book that I have, and it's pretty old. It's from, it's a very well used book. 2006. And then, oh, I forgot I had my coffee there. I gotta drink my coffee. It's decaf, y'all. And then this is the complete guide to home canning. And with this book, you can make your own recipes. Like it tells you like how much of something. Like it doesn't give you the recipe, but like how much of acidic food and non-acidic food and that kind of stuff. And so that way you can make like any kind of recipe that you want, but do it the actual right way. So I very highly recommend this book. I mean, there's probably, who knows, there might be a new edition. Well, I don't know how often they come out, but yeah, definitely. Like I said, I downloaded one on my tablet from, I don't remember, I know it's from really old, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like I can't even remember now. But I was like, ooh, like that would be so cool to can that, you know? And according to that book, I could. I mean, I was like, I know I can't. I mean, I guess if I was a risk taker, as far as like, you know, with food in my family, I could try it, but I'm not. And that's just if it makes you sick. If I mean, like just regular stomach stuff. If you get botulism, you know. And what I've heard some people say is like, "Oh, botulism doesn't kill you." Okay, you know, you can survive it. Yes, you know, you might survive it, but why would you want to put yourself through that? You know, it can cause a lot of damage, even if you do survive it. You can be left with long-term stuff. But, you know, people are free to do what they want to do. I can't even remember, Granny. Do you can? Hey, you hate canning. Why? Why do you hate it? I love it. Yeah, I freeze too. The only thing with freezing is, you know, if you lose power for an extended amount of time, then you can lose your stuff. But yeah, I enjoy canning. It can be hard work sometimes. Like if you got a lot of stuff to cut and stuff, like when I make like vegetable soup, you know, like meats are like the easiest things to can. But if you have, yeah, like soup making, like cutting everything up and dicing everything up, and that can be very time consuming. I will say I love it when the lids pop. Yeah. My mama was in canning group on Facebook and was learning about it, and they were extremely strict on the canning rules, and she wrote out recipes that she liked. So I have a good, good. Well, if you can meat, it's not. Meat is the easiest thing. I could can meat every day. And because it's pressure canning, so I don't mind pressure canning. Like I like pressure canning. I mean, water, you know, water bath is fun, but I don't like. You would think like jellies and jams would be like the easiest thing, right? Because you're just in the water bath and you're done, you know, and it doesn't take very long at all. But getting the right jelly and jam consistency for me is just, you know, how my luck is going that day. I mean, and I've made a lot of them, and sometimes they're runny, sometimes they're jams, sometimes they're syrup, you know. I mean, I find a use for all of it now. It doesn't matter. But because it's not always consistent, I'm just like, it's not my favorite thing. Well, now that we're keto, it doesn't matter because I don't can that anymore. I'm trying to go use up and give away and stuff the ones that we already have. Um, Actually, I think we're about out of it now. But like the meats and the vegetables and stuff like that, can pressure can that all day, every day. I'll can tomatoes, maybe some jams, but that's about it. It does make super easy meals. Like I said, I mean, could you imagine when I was so sick, what it would have been to like try to make chicken, I was going to say chicken noodle, there is no noodle in it, you know, chicken soup, or, you know, chicken broth, or turkey broth, you know, to like try to get all that protein and stuff. Like it would have taken all, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wouldn't have just not eaten. So I'm so glad that I have that. And I'm so glad that I made myself learn. No, I would have never learned it if it wasn't for my husband. At some point, he's like, Jackie, you know how you're always looking to challenge yourself and you're always wanting to learn new things? And I said, yes. And he said, how about you try canning? I said, what is canning? And he's like, well, you take food and it's a form of food preservation, you know? And so I was like, okay, I'll look into it, see what I think. And I started looking into it, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And of course, when I go into something, like I go all in, and so I learned and learned and learned and learned and learned, and then we got the tools to do it. When I thought I was ready, then I got the tools to do it. And I've been doing it ever since. And so I am, oh, I got distracted looking at that. I forgot I was talking. Let's see. Canned peppers, yes. Canned peppers are great. I like canning, which we don't eat it now because of the keto, but um, cowboy candy, which is, it is peppers, but sweet pepper, it's got that candy in it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love cowboy candy. All my dad cans is tomato juice and homemade dill pickles. Yeah, I still can our our cucumbers. Um, pickle them, can them, store them away. I also just do a lot of refrigerated ones. So like if I don't have like a big batch, like if it wasn't a good harvest of cucumbers, I would just go ahead and do like, a few like quarts or half gallons and just put them in the refrigerator because, with the vinegar and all that, they'll keep a long time as well. I've never canned tomato juice. Um, I've never harvested that much tomato. Like I've harvested good amounts of tomato, but not enough to like make cannerfuls. So I just freeze them or dehydrate them and then use them as like tomato powder. Canned peppers are great. No way you'd have exhausted yourself. With what? Oh yeah, so you've had cowboy candy. It is so good. So good. I still have some jars in there. We don't eat them because, they do have sugar. Even though I'm sure it's not like a lot of sugar, but it does have sugar. And y'all know I have a problem with sugar. So now that I'm off of the sugar, I avoid it completely. Oh yeah, with making soup balls. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have done it. I would have just not eaten it. If I wouldn't have had the chicken soup and like the chicken broth and stuff, um, I probably would have like just roughly chopped the onions and threw them in just some water and boil them because it's good when you're sick. But of course, that wouldn't have been as tasty as my soup because my soup was delicious. And what was good was too that I had, of course, if I didn't want the soup because of the chicken or whatever, I could just had uh, just the plain broth because I can plain broth as well. I used to can a lot of potatoes, but I guess now that we're keto, I will not be canning potatoes anymore. But hubby's like, no, you should still can them because if something was to happen, he's like, would we really like stick to the keto or would we just be like, we have to survive, so we have to eat? And I'm like, yeah, you bring up a good point, but instead of storing up stuff that we can't eat, how about we work on freeze drying or dehydrating a lot more meat that we can eat? And he's like, yes, that's a good point. He's like, but think about it. If something really goes bad, we're going to need the calories. And that meat's not going to provide us all the calories like potatoes and squash. And because, like my pantry's full of all that canned stuff because, it comes from the garden, so I can it. But he's like, it's not going to have all the calories. And I'm like, yeah, we just have to figure something out, which is why on my homesteading channel, I haven't posted a lot of stuff recently because it's like, what do I can? Like meat, like I've already done the meats. So it's like, what do I do now? Like, yeah, I can do green beans, but I mean, one vegetable, another vegetable, like, I mean, they're basically all the same. Now I'm wanting some fried green tomatoes. Oh wow, 25 to 30. I don't know how many we planted. I don't know how many we planted. I'm like, our tomatoes do good, but sometimes they don't. So it's like, so I keep telling myself every year, like, oh, I'm not going to do tomatoes again. But then I'm like, you know, you can't really pass up a fresh homegrown tomato because store bought is nothing like it. So we do it. But tomato is not my favorite thing to grow. Now, cherry tomatoes, yes, they do very well. But the big tomatoes, slicing tomatoes, and even like the canning tomatoes, like the aromas and stuff, they haven't done very good for us. And so I'm like, maybe I should just do like the cherry and the plum tomatoes, you know, the little ones, because those work in salads just as well. Yeah, it's not going to be for canning, but that's okay. But yeah, that's a lot, especially with all the suckers on the tomatoes and stuff like that, and have to take care of them. That's a lot of plants. Fried green tomatoes. I love fried green tomatoes. I bought a lot next to me just for a garden. That's awesome. Grow as much of your own food as you can. Tomato sandwich with fresh heirlooms. Yes, I like tomato sandwich. Well, with mayonnaise. I say I'm done with tomatoes. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Okay, then end up planting 20 to 25 plants. Not this year. I'm only growing cherry tomatoes. So see, you're thinking like I'm thinking. Like, yeah, tomato pie. Yes, Randy, we've been keto for a year now. Yeah, this month is a year. And so don't um, we don't eat like the flour and the sugar and all that stuff. So yeah, all the yummy stuff, most of the yummy stuff that we're talking about right now, I can't eat no more. But yeah, tomato pie. I've made tomato pie from fresh garden tomatoes. Learn it down here in the heat to determine that tomatoes work best. Yeah, like we got a bit of tomatoes this year, but it just wasn't for as much work as went into them. I didn't. Well, I never do. I never think it's worth it with them. But I do like going out there and smelling them. You know, like some people don't like the smell of the tomato plants, but I love it. But I mean, I can still get the smell from the cherry tomatoes. And the cherry tomatoes that I grow are like the indeterminate kind. And so they grow here. You know, I put them out in July. I mean, in July, listen to me, in April. And we can get tomatoes all the way into like November. We plant the cherry and lemon tomatoes. I haven't had the lemon tomatoes. I've only done the cherry and the plum. And they've done very well, even with all of our bugs. You'd cry if you didn't have tomatoes? You love that scent too. I used to buy a wax melt from my house called Tomato Leaf. Oh, okay. Smell amazing, and I would use it in January to make me happy. I'll be starting tomatoes and peppers next month inside. I'm surprised, y'all. I have not bought any seeds. It is what, January 11th? I have not bought not the first pack of seeds. Which I gotta go through my seeds and see if there's any seeds that I need. I shouldn't, especially because we're not eating a lot of this stuff, so I shouldn't need any. Without all the good stuff. Oh, yeah, it's rough. It was a lot harder in the beginning. Now I'm kind of like used to it. I mean, I still miss some things, especially when I'm talking about food with others. I'm like, oh, that used to be so good. I wonder if you could make your own, you know, because I mean, you'll have plenty of leaves. So I wonder if you just like dry them and you get the scent, or even from like stems, and then make the scent and put the scent in with some wax. I'm doing Weight Watchers so I can have the good stuff in moderation, thank goodness. That's good. Moderation is key. I had a really bad problem with sugar, and so I needed to do something different and drastic. And I researched it for several months before actually doing it. And it's been so good for both me and my husband, and I will probably do it forever because I was having like so many like joint aches and just I was just feeling bad, and I think it was from all the poison I was putting in my body, you know, with all the preservatives and stuff like that. Well, I mean, I'm sure the sugar didn't help it any, but yeah, it's been such an improvement that I probably will never go back. If I change from keto, it would probably be to do carnivore, which is just even more strict. But yeah, like I miss the food. Like I'm like, oh, you know, it tastes good. Like I'm aware of like what I'm missing out on, but at the same time, I feel so much better that no food would be worth me going back to feeling the way I used to feel. A fried green tomato scent, count me in. Makes a difference for sure. Wish I could moderate eating Dove chocolates. Can't. I'd eat a whole bag at once. That's the thing though, because sugar is addicting. So it's hard. So once you eat it, your body craves it. Even if you're not hungry, your body craves it. Ribeyes for a month, I'm all in. Well, see, my thing is, I would probably try carnivore before I committed to it for a little while. My thing is, and I think I've told you this before, is that I've never really been a big meat eater. So in that aspect, keto is double hard for me because not only am I giving up like all the stuff that, all the bad stuff that I enjoy, but also making myself eat meat, which, like, I'm not saying that I don't like it at all. Like, I mean, a good steak every once in a while was fine. Now I can eat chicken. I don't mind chicken at all. But, a good steak every once in a while. But having to, like, eat meat like every single day is like not my favorite thing to do. But I'll do it because I feel good. I actually just told my husband, what was it? I think night before last. I'm like, I wonder if I should try carnivore. I'm like, then it'd just be mainly like meat and eggs. He's like, it'd probably be even better for us. I'm like, yeah, probably. Just because, like I still have like some residual stuff, like, and I'm like, I wonder if I was just like completely like that, if it would just make a bigger difference. Because, till we went completely keto, we didn't know. Like, when you do keto, you're thinking it's going to be for like weight and stuff like that. You don't think it's going to impact your health by taking out all that processed food and all that other stuff from your diet, Um, and so those were really good benefits. And so I'm like, and had we not done it, we wouldn't have known, like I would have never known that joint pain would have went away like that. Um, and so what if there's something to carnivore that I'm missing out on just because, I want to eat vegetables? I do like my vegetables. I like my vegetables more than I like my meat. But I must say, in the last year, I've adjusted. I'm doing better with meat because I struggled in the beginning with like meat every day. But now I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's just, well, and because of doing the keto, I don't eat. I don't eat a lot. I don't get hungry. So it's not like I have to eat meat like all day long. Like I eat a portion of meat or a serving of meat and whatever veggie, and I'm done. I don't know. Do you feel a difference, Granny, when you do the carnivore for that month? All right. Well, I'm not going to reach my goal. I probably will continue working on it once I end the live because I'm not tired. But I doubt that I will finish it tonight. Yes, I have a stomach problem from old age, and carnivore settles my stomach. But then people say, like, oh, all that meat, that can't be good for you. But you hear so much stuff. Well, I mean, people say all kinds of stuff about keto too. And so I'm going to show then. So the color that I showed you the book. The color that I showed yesterday. And I'm gonna need to buy more yarn. So the color that I showed yesterday is this one. So that's gonna be one of the colors. And then to go, since I need 3 colors, and of course they use all solid colors, but I thought I'd put this in there. So there's that one. And then, so the purple to kind of go with it. If I stayed carnivore and keto all the time, my stomach would be fine all the time. But I'm a wuss. I have no willpower. I cheat and regret it. Well, I think I told y'all we've cheated what, two or three times in the full year, and each time was with Mexican food. And so, like the first time, I think the first time that we cheated, we had like the rice and stuff. But then when we went back for the Mexican food, we pretty much stuck to, like, you know, like they have like the cheese dip with like the chorizo in it. And so we've had like the cheese dip, and then we've had like the meat. So we really haven't cheated in that aspect of it. But it's still like, because we normally eat at home. And it's still unsettling to us. Like, you know, it doesn't always sit well. So, and then this is the other color. So it's going to be loud and fun. So I think those are the 3 colors that I'm going to use. And of course, the variegated one, I'm going to have to get more. I'll see if they have it at Walmart. Now I'll have to order it. And then, of course, the Premier I'll have to order. Unless I go out this weekend and then just find a matching purple at Walmart. Because I would much rather get it from Walmart than have to order. So I may just go to Walmart and try to match it there. But it's probably going to be the purple and the green unless I find something that matches much better than that. So those are the 3 colors that I'm looking at for that. And then the rectangles that we're going to work on, let's say they're vacuum sealed, is let's see what the paper says, how many were in here. Oh my goodness, did I not write down numbers? Like, how am I expected to remember what all that was supposed to mean? Like, what? Oh no. I mean, I figured it out, right? Take good notes. So the rectangles, let's see how many colors I have. And this is like an old project. Like, I can't even tell y'all how old. But I don't know if I had these in any particular order, but I'm just pulling these out. So I don't know. I'll deal with it. So these are, I'll put that there so it doesn't stick. So that's the size, and then it's going to get black border. And then they'll get sewn together. I know, it's bright. What color am I missing? Then the yellow, and then that color. And so, yeah, there's a lot of these. Oh no. But I mean, I have the black yarn right in the bag to do the border with. And I have white yarn in the bag. And now I'm like, I don't know what I was supposed to do with the white yarn. I don't know if I was thinking to do a white border on it. But I'm like, no, because there's no other white. So I don't think that would have been it. So I'm not sure. I like the bright colors too. Hi. Oh, Ladybug decided to leave. Well, hello, Ladybug. You have no willpower. Oh, I didn't think either. Like I told you before, I didn't think I was ever going to be able to give up sugar. I really did not. And I am surprised that I have done it this long. When I go to the Mexican, I get carne asada and never eat the tortillas. I can handle the beans, but not the rice. I usually eat some of the Poppy's beans, yeah. So the first time we did, we had the rice and the beans, and then whatever meat we got. And now we've eaten. It is cheating because even when we're only having like the meat and the cheese dip, well, guess what goes with that cheese dip? The chips. So we have cheated those 2 or 3 times, but that's okay because that's we're sticking to it, and so I think that to do that every 4 to 6 months is fine, but we don't even enjoy it that much because then we get sick. Tummy doesn't feel right. And it's not just me, it happens to him too. So it's like, is it really worth it? Like, let's just have, because we can make the cheese here with the chorizo, and I don't know what we would eat it with by the spoonful. And make the meat. I mean, it's not the same though, because, when you eat out, it's like, oh, you're eating out. Not eating the chips, yeah. We've eaten the chips each time. And I'm not talking like, okay, let's eat chips and let's just like eat a little bit of them. Like we eat the chips till we get our meal. So it's our cheat. But I'm like, even at that though, that's like not a horrible cheat because it's not sugar. It's not great. I'm not saying that it's good, but it could be so much worse. It takes a lot of practice and time. Because, when we first go keto, your body is like so used to all this stuff. So it's going through all kinds of withdrawals and you don't feel good. But we knew we wouldn't feel good, and so we just had to get past that. That seems like an awful lot of extras on this one. Because I don't see it anywhere else. That was a quick color. Well, and you see, Granny, one of the things that we do eat now with the keto is the cheese, right? And I'm lactose intolerant. But with not eating all the other stuff, my body handles the cheese for the most part just fine, which is a good thing because I really like cheese.
body is screaming at you when you, yeah, it is. Meat and veggies. You know, that's a good idea. Huh, yeah, I might try that. Because, you know, that dip is really good. So dipping it in veggies, dipping veggies in it. Yeah, I like that idea. I actually have chorizo in the fridge. We go through a lot of cheese. Well, it's because we're so addicted to all the. I knew I forgot some. There's some M's right there. Um, to all the chemicals and all the processed stuff, you know. So our body is really going through withdrawals from all the things that it's used to that are not good for it. You know, just like when I quit sodas, that was like, has been a long time, maybe almost 20 years. It was it was a nightmare. I mean, I think it was probably worse than when I quit smoking. It was horrible. Yeah, it is delicious, and I do want to make it, and I am gonna make it because I like that idea. Because you know, I don't do it because like, what are you gonna dip in it? You know, where you can't do chips, but that just solved my problem. They are. It was terrible. Your joints and feet swell. So there for a long time, my main drink was water or like lemonade, like just like water with lemon or lime, and then my herbal teas, and then I added coffee when we started doing the keto. Like, I mean, I have had coffee before, but when I started doing the keto, because you know, coffee makes you like diminishes your appetite, and so I started doing coffee, and I really enjoy coffee now. Like, I never even thought about like drinking black coffee. Like, it was just like this gross. Like, I will never get used to that. And in the last year, I've gotten used to it. I can just drink black coffee. And Granny says you can dip anything in cheese. Yeah, so we have the herbal teas. And here lately, though, we've started drinking like, I mean, we've drank green tea before, but like, um, we'll get, so like if we want something to drink at nighttime, we can have like just like the decaf green tea, or even like just decaf black or white or brown tea. and we'll do that. But Tom said he made oregano tea and it knocked him out. Said he had the best sleep. Have you tried it? 23. Because like hibiscus tea works for me. Like I do hibiscus and lemon balm tea at nighttime, and it works for me, but it doesn't work 100% of the time. And so I don't know why. Because it's like sometimes it just like knocks me out, and then sometimes it doesn't. And so I don't know if it's the tea or if it's me. Like maybe I'm not ready to go to sleep, and maybe I'm just fighting my sleep. So if I'm fighting the sleep, the tea can't really work, right? I don't think I've had oregano tea. I drink basil tea all the time, but I don't think I've done oregano. Although I eat a lot of oregano. Do you grow your own oregano, Granny? Oregano grows so good here. I've had my oregano for like several years now. Like it's pretty big. Yeah. Well, ours is done for the season, because it doesn't stay through the cold. But when it's growing, because it grows so fast, I harvest. Of course, I use as much fresh and do all the fresh things while I have it, but then I'll dehydrate it or freeze dry it so that I can have my tea all year long. It's so easy to grow. Yeah. Rosemary, my rosemary is hit and miss. But most of the other herbs do good. I love my herb garden. I like being able to do all my stuff and know exactly, like I grew this. Like I know exactly what it's been through. Now my hibiscus I order online, dried hibiscus, because I've not grown hibiscus yet. And because I hear that to get like 1 pound of dried hibiscus, you need like 5 plants. And I'm like, that would like take up a lot of room when I can just order. I don't know if it's a pound that I get or like 8 ounces, which I would need 2 of for, I don't know, $20 maybe. And that pretty much lasts me all year. So I'm like, that's just a lot easier, I think, than trying to grow 5 hibiscus plants. But that might have been their experience, It may not always be like that. Because I think it was Diana was telling me a while ago that she grew hibiscus and that she got a whole bunch of hibiscus. And I think, well, I don't remember how many plants she told me she had. And garlic chives. Charlotte, sodas are hard to quit. I'm trying really hard, but I'm addicted. Yeah, and I don't know how to do it other than just doing it cold turkey. and it's miserable. My lemongrass is still green, but it will die back soon, then come back to be 6 feet tall. I have not grown lemongrass. I probably should. I don't know. I don't think I've looked up the benefits of lemongrass, which is probably why I haven't done it. Or maybe the benefits are similar to the lemon balm, and I figure why I have to. I don't know. I'd have to look. Dairy alternative, 1 soda, 1 water. Then 1 soda, 2 water, etc. with no soda. That is a really good idea. I grew it because it makes a great fence. Oh, okay. That's a really good idea. I didn't. I did it cold turkey, and that was horrible. I'd never want to do that again. I had like the worst headaches, the worst moods. I was a nightmare. But it could also be because, you know, I was drinking soda a lot longer than I was smoking, so my body was used to it, you know? Maybe that's why it was so much harder. I get sick if I don't have a soda. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's just like, you know, you trade one thing. Like I said, we picked up coffee, but, you know, you trade off one thing for another. Now, the coffee that I drink is decaf. So I'm not like consuming the caffeine, but sometimes I do need some energy, and I will put like, I keep decaf, and then I keep a instant caffeinated, you know, those little jars that you can get of caffeinated coffee. And so I'll put like a quarter of a teaspoon of the caffeine in there because I don't want to be hooked on caffeine. So I try to mainly drink water, but we do have all the other things, which we probably should have just stuck with water, but I guess we probably got a little bit tired of it. I love water though. But like tonight, I felt like a coffee. I have a picture of when I was about 1 year old and my mother was holding a Coke bottle to my mouth. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised it wasn't tea. She drank it all the time. I remember that about her, and I was 8 when she passed away. Can't do her city water, so we buy it, and then I add sugar-free flavoring to it. My mom used to have her coffee, and she used to have black coffee, but she put sugar in it, and she'd always give me a tiny little bit of her coffee. I didn't even like it. I just had it because I felt like I was special, you know, like I was getting to do something that only mom got to do, kind of thing, you know. So I always had that tiny bit of coffee, which was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 2 tablespoons if I was to like measure it out, I think. But I mean, I always drank soda. I drank soda at a very early age. I wonder how you would do, Terry, with just adding like lemon juice or like lime juice instead of the flavoring, where it would be more natural. Yeah, we have a filter for our water. And it doesn't work for you. My last 2 kids love coffee. Their father started when they were very little. I was never like a tea drinker or like coffee drinker. I really just liked soda and water. And then I got to the South and I discovered sweet tea. And I was like, oh, I love this liquid sugar. And I drank it for years. And I quit sweet tea in 2006, I think. I could be off, but maybe it was 2005. Because I was consuming like, I don't even know how many calories daily in sweet tea. Like, I mean, I could drink some sweet tea. Well, like Granny says that she can drink it like it's her water. That's how I was. And then when I wanted something other than water, which was my tea, I'd have my sodas. So I was slowly poisoning myself over all those years. I've been drinking, let's see, I didn't start with tea until I was in my 20s. I bought it and learned to make it because it was cheap. It is cheap compared to all the other drinks, isn't it? I was a poor military wife trying to stretch the dollar. I've been drinking tea since I was a baby. Jane says, I'm going to go. Mona just went live. Enjoyed the chat. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you, Jane. You have a blessed night as well. I'm sure I will see you on somebody's channel. If not, I'll see you next Wednesday. I hope you start your painting. And Granny, you gonna go too? I think. I don't know how to do the raids. If I knew how to do the raids, I would do like the raid, you know, like go from here to there, but I don't know how to do that. That would be cool. But good night, Terry. But I'm going to go ahead and then just end it so that we can go over there. I found the diamond painting on Amazon, but it won't get here until the 19th. Well, yeah, because well, do you have Prime? Because that's what it's doing. That they're taking their sweet time. It'll sit there just till they put it out the next day or whatever. Well, I don't remember. Um, I was gonna show. Oh my gosh, what was that girl's name? The organizer that I was looking at. So you have Prime. So why isn't it gonna? Why it should be there? You order now. It should be there by Monday. Yeah, like I don't understand why Amazon is doing that. Because like when I order something from them and I order something from Temu, my Temu order got here before my Amazon order, and I was like, that's like unacceptable. But they're just sitting on it because well, to me, I think they want everybody to go Prime, but you have Prime, so like, what's their excuse there? You know, there is none. Is it is it coming directly from that place? Can you get one like directly from Amazon that maybe would get to you in like the 2 days? You know, like maybe that's not like a Prime item. Okay, let me know. Yeah, because maybe if you can get one that's Prime, you will get it by Monday. So, my lurkers, my goal was to finish this today, and I have tried really hard to finish it. And as you see, I still have all these sections to go, and so I didn't finish it, which is fine because I will continue to work on it. But that is what I wanted to do. So here we are, right? Oh, I keep dumping my tray over. Why? Don't know why. Let's see, I'm checking. It's not a Prime item, but free ship for Prime members. Yeah, but it's so it's not shipping from Amazon. Where is it shipping from? Because if that's the case, order you that one, but then order you another one that ships from Amazon that you can get on Monday. Maybe a little one. There's one of those. So you did find one from that will ship from Amazon? Does it say it'll be there on Monday? What was that? P134. What design are you getting? What's this one? The P. I don't know why I dumped all of them. There was just one right there. Is there any more? I'm gonna say no, but then I'm gonna see another one. But I don't see any right now. Well, there's the moon. What was the moon? 32. I don't think I have that one out. Because I said I was going to come back and do those at a later time, and that's what I need to stick with. Instead of just filling in one at a time. Check that out. Monday, it's 3 old lady chickens with glasses. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. Look at them. They have high heels. It's a good size too. It's 11.5 by 11.5. And you get your pen, your tray, your pen, the canvas, adhesive, diamonds. I like it. I wonder why somebody else has it for more money. Did you see that down below it? Oh, I think they're a little bit different. Yeah, they are different. Okay. It was still 3 chickens though. I'm going to order an accessory kit too because the tools don't look so great. I know it's super cheap. Hope it's not a dud, but for the price, guess it's okay. Yeah, well, some of the ones that I got, well, I haven't opened them all, but you saw the one oh, no. Did you see when I showed the owl? Did I show the owl yesterday? Was that the day before? Oh my gosh, my days get so confused. I don't know. Did you see my owl? I think you saw the owl. And it seems fine. And I don't think, I think all the ones that I got were between like $5 and $10. And that one seemed fine, other than, oh, that's right, because you were like, yeah, could that be the adhesive? That's right. I mean, I still have to open the other ones, but I imagine if that one was good, that the other ones will be good as well. Well, and the thing with Amazon is, if it's not, you can just send it back for free. So, yeah. Which one was this one? 32. The moon. I know there's only one moon, but where are you? I saw you. I got the feed. Where are you? There you are. Oh, there was more than one. So there's one. There's another. I was pretty sure I had seen the other one in a different area. Yep, there it is. Okay, that's the last one. All right, Granny, you want to go over to Mona's? Or you want to stay here? Oh, I just shook everything. So sorry. Oh, I just twisted everything. Goodness gracious. That's what happens when you stand up and you've been sitting for so long. It's so pretty. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm leaving the hummingbird. I mean, it has some of it, but I'm leaving it for last. Because I want that to be like, okay, now we're done. You're going to go to bed. Okay, well, you have a great night. And then I will probably, if I don't see you in the YouTube streets, I will see you Monday night. I'm not going to go to bed because I'm not tired. I'm going to sit here and do this and probably listen to Mona and whoever she has on her panel. And just listen because that way I can maybe do some more. At least I get a little bit tired. And then maybe I can watch TV or something while I go to sleep. I haven't watched very much TV at all since lives. And I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I've been watching a lot of lives. 7. But alright, I will see you on Monday. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Alright, you too. Bye. Bye, guys. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody else left in the chat. If there's anyone in the chat, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all spending your time with me. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed weekend. For my lurkers, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Till I see you again. Bye-bye.